I can't believe it, but we're on our very last tutorial lesson before we work on the project together. So this lesson is about naming files, and this is sort of a boring thing, but it's extremely important. So I will tell you a little bit about how I name files, and it's up to you as to how you like to name your own files, but I'll give you a few tips on what I like to do. So when I'm naming a file, it's really important to me that I can find it again later. And in order to do that, I like to use dates a lot. So I deal with a lot of files in my work, in my day-to-day life, and a lot of the files are the same, but have little tiny updates every day, and I like to save them every day just so that I can go back in time if I need to and go back to an older file. So say I was saving this file in real life, so I'll go to Save As. I'm going to save it as a PDF file or PSD file for a Photoshop file. So I want to be very descriptive of what it is, and then I want to put the date. So I like to put what it is followed by the date. So rather than saying whatever we want, I don't know if I'll remember that I said that tomorrow. So I'll be very descriptive. So I'll say Photoshop class tutorial, and then I'll give it an underscore always, and then I follow by the date. Today's date is 02/23/2014. Okay, so this is today's date, and I always put that after the very descriptive title. And that's usually how I title things. So the date is nice because you can search by the date in the future, and that's really helpful. So if you didn't know what you named a file, but you knew what date you made it on, you can easily search by the date. Or even if you just knew the week or month, it's at least easier to find it that way. That's the quick and dirty tips for how I name files. There are plenty of ways that you can name files. I'll make sure that I upload some resources for you with this lesson that says some other people's tips on naming files, because we all have our own opinion. But this is exactly like how I like to do it because they're easy to find in the future, and that's all that matters to me. Okay, so let's move on to working on the project together.